So, this hosting the presence of God in a community of believers, the household of faith on mission, living out of our new identity in Christ, is underpinned by covenant. It's underpinned by covenant. We're reading John 15, Jesus talking to the disciples, and this is just as he's about to kind of head into his last few hours of his earthly ministry before he goes to the cross. And Jesus writes in the language, and he speaks in the language of covenant to his followers. He says this: I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. All that we do as followers of Jesus is underpinned by this powerful relational covenant that we have with God through Jesus. Relationship in its basic sense is about oneness. It's about God sharing my life and my life being shared by God. It's about Jesus dwelling in me and me in Jesus. And out of that relational covenant, I bear fruit. Out of that relational covenant, Christ's life is seen in me and my life is seen in him. It's oneness. It's about two becoming one. And not only is this relational covenant shared with Jesus and me, but it's also shared with one another. Just in the same way that my life has become one with God's, also our relational life as an oikos is shared with one another. We can't be separated. Jesus said, I pray that you will be one as I and the Father are one. So we live in covenant. Jesus, when he sat and ate with his disciples at Last Supper, he said, this is the blood of the new covenant poured out for the sins of many. Jesus becoming our atoning sacrifice makes it possible for us to live in oneness with God and with each other. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus invites us into covenant, and we live out that covenant through kingdom. Guys, I want to remind you today that the presence of God is carried through covenant. It is carried through the relational covenant, the agreement that we have with Jesus. Therefore, we have with one another. God bless you.